All right, welcome back to Schoology How-Tos. Today we're going to talk about how to add a discussion board to one of your classes. So in particular, in this class, since students are working at their own pace, the discussions wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. However, I do think that it might be interesting to add a discussion board to my percent unit. So what I'm going to do here is I will click in, I think I'm going to add it to my discount markup sales tax and tips. So what I'll do here is I will go ahead and add materials once I get to my folder, and then I'm going to click add discussion. And there are a few options here. So my title is going to be real world percentages. And so my question that I'm going to ask is, why would someone give a tip? Can you think of a time when someone you know gave a tip? So just kind of relating that real life experience of why we give tips. They do kind of cover it in one of the videos, but just to kind of reflect on why do we do that and how do we do that? So if I want to set a due date for this discussion, I can. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it without a due date, but you can set the date and the time that you want them to turn it in by. Then you can, there's some options down here. So obviously, we're going to leave it published to students, but you can individually assign. So you can pick certain students to assign this to. I don't have any students, but if you were to do that, you would just type in the student's name and click on their name. But you can decide to lock it, which means that students won't be able to put any more responses. You can also make it to where students either can see responses before participating, or you can require them to make a first post before they see it. So what that will do is just kind of make sure that they're coming up with their own answer and not looking at other people's answers before they post. So either way is fine, but it's personal preference. So we'll just leave it to where they can post, or they can see others post before participating. And then we'll go ahead and create. So now our discussion is down here, and the students will click on this and they'll be able to post a comment in here. So they can just type whatever they want and then post it. So they could say, my parents gave a tip to our waiter at a restaurant. Something like that, and then post, and then you'll see that their post shows up down there. So they're kind of like bouncing ideas off of each other. It's kind of a cool way to collaborate, but also being virtual. So we'll delete that. Also, the cool thing about Schoology, just to cover it real quick, is say, for example, you created the discussion boards, but you were like, oh shoot, I meant to create that right after the videos. I want it to be like right below the last video that they watch. You can actually just click and drag this up to the location that you want, which is really cool. So that will automatically update for students too. So now students will see this discussion right below the video. So that is how you add discussions to your courses.